Some of you guys might think that the Omicron virus or variant or whatever they're calling it, it would just be a quick phase and the market would jump right on back up. But I've got news for you. I think short term, markets are headed to the dark side.
Hey Nick, I don't...
All right, you guys, jokes aside, let's actually talk about this market and everything going on with the whole new variant situation, the impact on markets, and just get an update from our last thoughts. So we'll switch over to the screen view here for a moment, and let's take a look at starting out with gold here. Now, gold is going to be a real confusing one because honestly, gold coming down, you would kind of think that if risk-off assets are going to perform well, again, headed over to that dark side of things, you would expect the gold market to probably jump, right? Well, gold is really weird and it just does some crazy things, and I'm getting tired of having to jump on here and explain why it's doing the exact opposite of what everyone was expecting. But the main idea is that I think gold might just be coming down short term because there is a general move into cash right now, right? When you get a big concern around markets and people being like, hey, you know what, this looks a little bit concerning right now, I'm gonna pull my money out of the markets. They a lot of times do it out of everything. They just reduce their exposure to all markets, including things like gold. However, I want to just take a quick look here on the one-day chart on gold. If we go back to 2020 and just a quick reminder of what happened, very comparable, similar situation. We had big news about a new virus or whatever, and we saw a big sell-off, right? Followed by, so gold came down during that last one. Here's March of 2020, and then it rallied for several months. I think that that has a possibility of repeating. We may see a return in the next several months, maybe here in 2022, possibly a return back to the highs up there in the 2000s. Is that a guarantee? No, because markets can be incredibly strange and unpredictable, just like we're seeing a downward move today on gold. But again, a very similar looking chart to what we saw happen in 2020. We saw the sell-off of gold at the initial concern around market drops, but then we saw the rally. So I think that gold may be a possible buy in these areas. That is just my personal opinion. Please don't go make financial decisions just because you heard it in a video. Go do your own due diligence and homework. But I personally do think that there may be some opportunities to pick up some gold at a discounted rate. In fact, I am thinking about doing it in my longer term investing account just because this may be a trade not just for the next week or so, but more on the higher time frames, weekly charts, things like that. But anyways, short term, I am looking at one specific thing for gold. If we take a look at the gold chart and we draw a quick little downward channel here, we're looking at the 1 hour chart, by the way, and let's show you guys this real quick. Here's a regression trend. I've been playing around with these. I really like this chart. I think it's really, really cool. And what it does, it just gives you a general regression trend line of this recent price action. And what you can see is that we are currently at the lower limits of that level. If we were to get some form of a breakout, right? Some form of a significant move to the upside, from a technical analysis perspective, I would take that as a win for the buyers down in this zone. But again, right now, we're not seeing that just yet. We're seeing a lot of pressure on gold as things continue to come down lower. Now, let me see if I can draw in a couple levels here. Now, what I would personally love to see is we do have some short-term, again, 1 hour chart stuff, short-term levels of resistance. I would personally like to start seeing gold before trying to jump in myself to long trades. I'd like to start seeing gold get some W's, right? We've been just taking L after L after L for gold, right? But I'd like to see some W's. Let's flash some W's up on the screen. We need some W's in the house before we're jumping into a bunch of gold trade longs, at least in my opinion. So what I'm looking for is something like this. A breakout, we would consider that a W, right? Some form of a break of structure, just to show us that buyers are in the house, that they actually exist, and that they're not just gonna roll over and die like we saw back in 2020. And we can start to see some healthy upward trending concepts, right? Because right now we look at the 1 hour chart, it's ugly. But again, fundamentally, I do like it to the long side. So that's gold. I'm watching these levels. Of course, we will probably make some more updates. If you guys would like more videos like this, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments that you want more videos like this, and I will continue to do coverage. It's it's something that we enjoy doing here on the channel. So if you guys want more of it, just hit that like button, let us know. So let's move over to another market. Quick look at S&P 500 just to see. We'll take a quick stab at this one. So The stock market, did I type that SXP? I typed it in wrong. SPX 500. We'll take a look here and we'll take a look at the 4-hour chart specifically. And what we can see here is that we've got a little bit of an interesting zone that we are currently watching. In fact, we got to look at the daily chart for a second. We've got this big structural level of support that is currently being tested. And you know, if you look at it on the 1-hour chart, we had a little bit of a move. Like we came way down, retested it, sold off. Now we're retesting it again. So again, this is a very, very key pivotal spot here on the daily chart. You've got big demand here, probably just because you do have that big structural level of support. But if this thing was to break, right, we got the close already outside of it. If it is to see sell off the rest of the day, I would take that as a huge sell off or a win for the bears. We would consider that another W, if you will, right? There's your W, right? You got another W for the sellers for risk off sentiment, if in fact that does happen. Again, we're talking about the dark side here. We're on the evil side, right? Markets come down, all the doom and gloom. No, not really. We're not actually. I'm not investing myself emotionally into a side of this. I'm kind of joking with all that stuff. The reality is, I'm just looking short term. Probability wise, it does look like there's a little bit of concern and a reason to at least address the idea of risk off assets coming back into play for the short term. Speaking more of risk off assets, we have something like the JPY. Let's take a look at, for example, you know what? I like GBP JPY. I talked about this on stream. Let's take a look at this. So here's GJ. We'll take a look at the 4-hour chart specifically. Why would GJ be a sell in my view? Obviously, you can see you've got a couple levels marked up and all of them are not green. They're all pink/red, looking for sell opportunities. So if price does retest, I like the idea of possibly looking for sells, right? Looking for selling opportunities at levels like this in favor of more downside due to the risk off nature of this currency pair, right? Or the innate risk on versus risk off currencies involved in this currency pair. So again, that JPY being an attractive buy if you think markets are going to react negatively and continue to be a little bit hiccuped or concerned around this new variant situation. Same tone, we have to address the GBP being that high risk currency, right? It is a less reliable, less huge economy like Japan. So what's happening is that in a time of fear, people are selling those pounds and they're going and buying their yens, right? And that's exactly what we've been seeing the last week or so as the GBP JPY currency pair has been sold into. So I'm looking to try and join that trend at a healthy level. So we'll just draw a quick level of fibs here as well. So we can draw this in here and look at this, you guys. Beautiful little possible retest of that 50% and really even the 38.2, depending on how aggressive you are. You know, we tighten up our zones here a little bit. If price does make a little bit more of a push, maybe there's some sell opportunities in regions like that. Again, a couple trade ideas that I am personally looking at on my own trading accounts. If I take the trades, then of course you will see them inside of our private Discord community, which is linked down below in the description. Every trade I take in the form of trade alert or signal, whatever you would like to call it, is shared there for members. So full breakdowns, full analysis, none of that just copy and paste stuff. We're not about that. We're about real trades and real breakdowns and real ideas and stuff like that. So if you'd like that, if that sounds helpful, if you'd like to see the trades that I take when I take them, join us down below in the description. Click that link and plug in that promo code. You'll get a discount off of the membership. So again, I like the idea of downside here. I like the idea of more sell-off on risk on currencies and moving into risk off for the time being. Now, AUD USD, you guys have seen some of the, if you've been watching the channel, you know I've been making some pretty good, some good plays on Aussie dollar. I wish every trade was so good, but recently I've been making some pretty good plays on the sell side. You can just scroll back on some of my recent videos and watch me trade this currency pair. It's been going really well, and honestly, I am keeping it on the radar as well for possibly adding more sells at a certain point. So it's another one on the radar, but again, this one's a little bit a ways away from possible sells, at least in my opinion. We still got a little bit of, you know, maybe something there, maybe some structure up here at that 72 point or 0.724. Levels like that could come into play. And again, I really would just like to start to see a bounce start to take place in order for me to sell into it. As you guys know, I am a pullback trader, a momentum trader, so I'm looking for opportunities to sell on a downtrend, but I've got to see that market market give me that opportunity. I took a dollar CAD trade, which is going pretty, I took a long trade on dollar CAD, which is going pretty well. I'm not logged into my broker, but you guys should be able to see that when I do have the video up. Should be in a couple days, but that trade is going really well. Called that one out. We'll just pull that one up so you guys can see it, just so you know I'm not just saying that. Here is the dollar CAD trade, and check this out, you guys, real quick. So this is what the membership group looks like, by the way. Here was the initial trade on dollar CAD, so price came down to a level. I ended up taking that buy on dollar CAD. Momentum came back into that market, and check this out. So price came down and just barely missed my stop loss. You can see there's my stop order on my broker. I barely missed it. It was so close that I had to send out a picture to members just because I thought it was kind of crazy, but price missed it. Stop loss was in a good place apparently, and rallied off of there from there. So price kept going and was able to move that stop loss into profit. So good little spot there on dollar CAD. May look to add more positions if this thing gives another discount, but right now happy with where I'm at. And with that said, you guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If this video was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, watch more free trading content on my channel anytime you'd like. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and guys, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you back in the next one. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching today's video. There are more videos available on our channel here and here, so go ahead and click into that for some more free trading content. With that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you back next time.